Knutton went by the nickname of the Banana Docks. Now, there's all sorts of interpretations to that, you know, why it was called Banana Docks, and one of them that I was given was there used to be a railway line coming from Leaseat and everywhere else through the potteries, and one day a train coming was loaded with bananas and it sided over. That many people from Knutton went to help themselves to the cargo of bananas. They then got the nickname of the Banana Docks. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I like to think it was true. My relationship with Knutton started when I was discharged from the Royal Marines due to an accident. I came over back to Newcastle Borough. I moved into Knutton. There was very little work, you know, because we hadn't the workplaces to go to. Most of them had been taken up, and some of them which were war orientated had finished, so that put people out of work. The health reason was about the area, because at that time the Clean Air Act hadn't come in, and people were smoking coal fires and everything else, and it didn't lead to a nice breathing space. We hadn't the open spaces go to. The schools weren't of the higher class that they are now, and during that period of time the government were looking to uplift areas of poor quality and everything else. A criteria to obtain the money had to be met, and it was a criteria that actually made you feel ashamed that you lived in the area. It was a low educational rate, poor employment prospects. Health was very poor due to the number of elderly people that had worked in the mines and sustained dust-related claims. So Knutton wasn't the brightest of places. But the government poured quite an amount of money into the area to uplift it, develop it, and hopefully to sustain it. In the village alone where I live, the old houses, which were getting a bit decayed and looking near to being knocked down and developed, they suddenly had an uplifting like a brilliant spring clean. Living within myself and my wife and family, I'm glad I stayed in Knutton, because I've seen, you know, the rewards of what I feel I've contributed to. I've always been interested in the military after being in the services, and my father was, and one was Cheston, where I was born. Cheston had a bombing raid one Saturday, and nothing had ever been done to remember 16 people on that Saturday were killed. And I thought, it's time something was done. So I got along with the Cheston Community Group to have a plaque installed in remembrance of those that were killed. I also looked at the incidence of deaths through bombing and different things in the Stoke-on-Trent and Newcastle area. Out of that, I got installed in the Brampton Walks a remembrance stone, a remembrance of the civilians that were killed in Stoke-on-Trent and Newcastle area.